Welcome to What's Hot New Mexico, the Journal's newest podcast that features local artists, bands, performers, and everything hot and upcoming in the city. My name is Nakayla. I'm the host of this podcast. Today I have with you clarq and Scotty, who are musical performers who have a series of summer concerts coming up, including one at SOMOS. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation, and if you have something hot and upcoming in the city, let me know.
If you enjoy our podcast, please like and subscribe and consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Albuquerque Journal to help us bring you more content like this. You can find this episode and all of our podcasts on the Albuquerque Journal website, abqjournal.com, as well as YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. See the show notes for a discount code on a digital subscription. Thank you for supporting the Albuquerque Journal, New Mexico's leading news.
Hello, my name is Nakayla, and I'm a reporter at the Albuquerque Journal. Welcome to What's Hot New Mexico. Today, I'm joined with clarq and Scotty. How are you guys doing today?
So well, thank you.
Great.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Nice.
So clarq and Scotty are this amazing musical duo, producing, rapping, R&B, and you guys have got a lot of shows coming up this summer. So why don't you just jump in and tell me about everything you guys are working on?
Okay, great.
Yeah, shall I start us off?
Yeah.
It's been an amazing year, amazing past year. So last year I dropped the album CQ, and that was an amazing journey. That was completely produced, recorded, mixed, mastered by Scotty over here.
Awesome.
And so we're kind of just riding the wave of a lot of that momentum, and it's been so well received. So we are playing next at SOMOS, which I'm really, really excited about. SOMOS has been around for a hot minute, and I remember seeing it years back and just thinking how amazing it would be to be a part of it. There's not only musical artists, as you know, but painters, sculptors, every type of artist that you can imagine. And so super fortunate for us to be a part of that on the main stage. Okay. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then after that, we have Cyber Prom, which is going to be at Sister Bar. So that's going to be with Willa J, DJ Thought Daughter, and some other of our Sweet Roll, some of our amazing musician friends that we love. Shout out to y'all. Yeah. And yeah, we're super, super excited for that. And then kind of after that, we've got, of course, Juneteenth comes around every year. We're a part of that committee as well. So we've been organizing that on the entertainment side.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's been super fun. And then we have Hotel Zaz. They are kicking off a summer series at their pool. So, you know, we already gotta do that. So we're already there.
You guys are booked and busy. And
Yeah.
speaking of booked and busy, man, you just dropped a new album, right?
I did. Kind of overdue. It was supposed to drop in January. Just dropped it last week. Direct to consumer, no streaming, bettersense.com, and Tune FM. And I'm very proud of this one. I don't know if you're familiar with like the Nipsey Hussle story and how he sold his mixtape for $100 and sold out. I didn't intend to do that. I put it for pay what you want, and somebody actually purchased it for $100.
Really?
So yeah, I made a $100 album, and I'm proud of that.
Wow.
For
And
sure.
tell me about kind of the type of music that you guys are on the pathway to making. You've made a lot of different albums with some R&B, some rap. We've got some more soul in there. And I mean, you're mixing and making your own beats. So tell me about that journey and kind of what our sound really is.
I mean, I feel like for me as a producer and also an artist, it's been great to deliberately define like those differences. We have a lot of crossover sonically, but I'm very like particular in making sure her music sounds like her music versus like a girl version of my music.
Sure.
You know, so I want to say that the sound for her is kind of whatever she says. You know what I mean? Like she lets me cook, but at the end of the day, she gives me a lot of like, hey, let's listen to this, or like, yo, I heard this song. You know what I mean? Or things of that nature. Like, oh, I love those chords going that direction. And I'm very thankful to have a thought partner in that capacity. As far as mine, it's truly kind of like whatever I feel. We've got a little bit of like other genres that have like non-urban factors involved kind of in the pipeline. Got a little bit of rock, I've gone from rap to more like melodic and like tapping in more into like my singing, and I feel like that aligns more with how I feel and being able to express that way. But yeah, I feel like the sky's the limit, truthfully, as far as our sound.
Yeah. It's it can be unpredictable at times. Scott will tell you when we're in the studio, you know, it's really like he said, how we're feeling. And one thing that I've come to develop as an artist, you know, with all of our experiences, life experiences, and our creative experiences is that I don't have to limit myself. I can, you know, hop on a beat that no one would expect me to get on and still murder it. You know what I mean? And still like go in and feel comfortable, you know, and feel confident that whatever I have to express on that particular track is going to land with somebody. And that's who that vibe is meant for. You know what I mean? And I'm proud to be like very dynamic and show up fully. You know what I mean? I love being able to exude the softness and femininity and power of a vibe like Safe Place, but then also do something like Clark Kent, which is a little more in your face.
I love Clark Kent. I love Clark Kent.
A little more in your face, a lot more attitude, a lot more sauce. And yeah, so I think if you listen to Clark or Scotty, you're going to get a wide range of sounds, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like for both of you, you guys are bringing back this interesting mix that's like old school R&B, but you're also mixing it with a lot more like modern rap, but also not limiting yourself to those genres. You guys are really bringing in a sound to Albuquerque that I don't really think we have a big group of people doing. And I kind of feel like you guys are making waves in those scenes, honestly.
I mean, I'll be honest and say it's very deliberate. And even like when she decided to lock in with me, it was like, this is the longer route. It's not the quick route. I kind of see the landscape of music, especially in Albuquerque, as opposed to bigger cities. You know, having lived in bigger cities and on both coasts, you kind of get a grasp of like where stuff can go and like the trajectory. I try to put myself in the future and like ahead of that. And it kind of gets overlooked until it catches on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I mean, you have a really big history. You have produced for like Warner Brothers and stuff before.
Sure.
So you're mixed in with a lot of different crowds.
Right.
Do you feel like that kind of helps you find a different sound and kind of see the shifts in music trends before they're happening?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I think as producers, we're like in the future because we make it, then the artist hears it, and that's already a time delay, and then it goes out probably 6 months to a year later, and then there's another time delay, and then the people hear it. It's brand new to them, and I'm already tired of hearing it. You know, so it's like just continually raising the bar for us as a label is very important to me, sonically especially. And it's not about like the competitive nature, but you know, I feel like music gets stagnant once you stop digging deep into yourself.
Right.
So as long as us as individuals and as artists are like doing the work to make sure we're unpeeling back like pieces of ourselves to find that true wholeness, the music is going to continue to elevate.
Definitely.
And, you know, and as you were saying, you know, being tapped into those different circles and like seeing the magnitude of where music is at a mass level, I think that's really what helps us as we navigate Albuquerque.
And I feel like you've really found yourself and your sound, I'd say, in like the past year. I've noticed that the type of shows that you're doing, they all kind of seem to just really fit in your box, and you're starting to get a lot of fans, and you're getting guest artists and people that you're featured with, and they're really like meshing well with your sound. So how does that feel to be really developing yourself in your musical identity?
Yeah, I mean, it feels really good. I would be lying if I said that it didn't give me like this swelling feeling in my heart when someone's like, "Oh my gosh, I was just listening to you on my playlist."
That's why we do it.
That's amazing, you know, to just have that reception from people who, and especially other artists. Those aren't. We always say this, you know, other artists like aren't our fans. They're not the ones who like consume our music on like a mass level, but from other creatives who on the scene and outside of our Albuquerque scene who I respect, you know, looking at us and saying this sounds amazing. And I felt this when I heard your music, or giving us some particular way that they connected with a piece of art that we created is one of the best feelings ever. So I, like Scotty said, just want to continue to peel back those layers. I know there's so much. I've done a lot, but I haven't done like you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah,
There's
You
so
know
much
what I
more to
mean?
get
Like there's
to.
so much
Absolutely.
more.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to peel back those layers and really, my first EP, Hard Eyes, was intimate, a few tracks. And, I kind of went there and let you see some of me. And then CQ is, dynamic and has this real element of sexiness, but power, and has all of these different elements. I really want to push the envelope with vulnerability and letting parts of myself be seen in my music and expressing that in a way that I haven't yet. And so that's what I'm really excited for in the future as an artist. Yeah.
And I feel like you guys are both kind of going on those journeys. I mean, you said that you're focusing more on melodies and singing and kind of showing parts of your talent that maybe you haven't really been able to express.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
and now you guys are going to SOMOS, and you guys are pretty big names up there on the big main stage. So you're working with big artists. You've worked with D Smoke in the past, right?
Yeah, so I've opened for D Smoke, opened for B.O.B., DJ Quick, Talib Kweli. Both of us have opened for him. And those moments really, more so than just like the clout of being able to say like, oh, I opened for this person and that person. It really just opens your own, it unlocks that door in your own mind, our own obstacles that we set up for ourselves in our own mind, to say like, that's not even the limit. Once you are in rooms with a certain level of creativity, and you're sharing that same stage, it's like, nothing is impossible for the heights that I want my music to go and my artistry to reach, So that's why those are important to me, not just to be able to say like, it sounds cool and all, and amazing people, amazing experiences. But yeah, there's more to come, bigger stages to conquer. But for right now, I'm super, like I said, super excited, super grateful for SOMOS. They have their kind of tagline that it's a love letter to Albuquerque.
Yep.
And I thought that was super sweet and special because, I think as a kid, I didn't always appreciate Albuquerque.
Oh,
I was
same
just
here,
like
same here.
so ready to be everywhere else. And, and of course, we're going to see the world, right? But Albuquerque does hold a special place in our hearts, in my heart. And so I'm so happy to be a part of that love letter, because we've all had special memories here. We've fallen in love here. We've had heartbreak here. We've grown up here. We've, our families are here, and, the mountains that we love. And there's so many things that are special about this place. And so, yeah, super happy to dedicate this show to Albuquerque for sure.
And I feel like it's really fitting for both of you too, because just like how SOMOS is a love letter to Albuquerque, I feel like your guys' music really is a love letter to Albuquerque. You guys have had so many experiences, and it seems like no matter what, you both are very focused on growing what you know and trying to build up the music community here, whereas a lot of people would say, I'm going to go somewhere else. It's time to go to LA. It's time to go to New York. So what keeps you guys staying here and really trying to push the envelope here when it might be open somewhere else?
I love that question, because I was going to piggyback off those string of shows. I think from an executive mindset, stringing together shows like that for someone in her position who doesn't have like the 10,000 followers yet, it creates a magnitude where you can almost ignore the numbers. It's like, if you've seen the show, like, you're not worried about her Spotify. If you've seen the show, you're not worried about her, any of that. And for me, that was very important, because I see the vision, I see the trajectory, and I see like the magnitude, like when we're in tandem and on the same page, like musically, like the sky's the limit. So that is what keeps me here. I've been involved with developing other artists for the last like 12 years, and two of my proteges, they're in LA doing their own thing sustainably under their own umbrella. And that's something I'm proud of. And I've always said, like, I'm not giving fishes away, and I'm not teaching how to fish. I'm actually going to teach you how to build a fishing pole. So, even in poor conditions, that fishing pole breaks, go make a new one.
For sure.
Go do it, go rebuild it.
Right.
Like, nobody can take that away if you can rebuild it.
Right.
So that's what keeps me here, truthfully. Like, that void of, a lot of people say there's no opportunity here, and I'm trying to show people how to create it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And to piggyback off of that, if I may really quick, the special thing that I love is being able to stay true to here and how we've developed here as artists, but everywhere else that we've played, because we've played outside of New Mexico,
Right.
Everywhere else that we've played, it really is a testament to it just being good music because it's well received everywhere. You know, it's not
Atlanta,
just
like Texas, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter where
Yeah.
it is, you know, all the way up in Minneapolis,
Right.
people are rocking with it, you
Right.
know, and
Right.
I'm just so thankful for that. So there is a specialness, and it'll always be, no matter where we go, it'll always be a part of the soul of our creations, I think.
For sure. And I feel like that also shows just how well-rounded you guys are, that you can reach so many different audiences in different points. But also to piggyback off of what you said, the numbers are growing, though, even though we might not be at a point where you're like, oh, I have 15,000 listeners. I mean, I'm seeing the Spotify numbers go up and up and up with every song that both of you guys are dropping. With
Right.
both of you guys' new albums, it seems like they were really well received. And so we're just pushing that momentum now, right?
For sure.
Absolutely.
I just find it very important to treat the numbers as a side effect and not as like the mission.
Right.
So
Right.
Especially in this age where, you know, Scotty mentioned earlier that his newest album is available direct to consumer on our website. Shout out Better Sense, BTTRSNC.com. That is so important in this day and age because, as you know, the streaming platforms they're not for us.
Right.
They're for certain people to make money. They're not for the artists to make money. And I'm not saying that to slander anyone or step on anyone's toes or cause a huge controversy, but
Sure.
anyone who has any like iota of knowledge about the music industry knows that is one of artists' biggest, you know, call is like, hey, support me in other ways because I have to get an insane number of streams to make $1, right?
Right.
to make 100.
To make 100.
How much did you say?
And you made
between 30 and 50,000 streams is what it costs. Is
Wow.
what it takes to make $100.
to make
Wow.
$100.
Goodness.
So
So
you
that's-
think about that, that's
yeah.
insane.
And it's
Right.
hard for newer artists or more local artists to really reach those numbers right away. By the
Right.
time
Yeah.
you get there, you're already really developed.
I mean,
Yeah.
even where I'm at, I only have one song that's broken 50,000 on my own.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
you know, and that's trickling. So circling back to the album, making that in one day, like that's powerful. Like building that and helping other artists build that where it's like, okay, I don't have 10,000 fans, but I got 100 fans rocking with me.
Right.
I drop a t-shirt, it sells out. I drop an album, it sells out. You know what I mean? That's the momentum and the power that I want to give to artists here, you know?
And speaking of momentum, you know, going into the summer, what are some of the things that you guys are expecting to show audience members and that you're expecting to experience yourself?
That is a great
That is a
question.
great question.
I really want to, I'm just wanting to consistently level up my instrument, my voice, you know, really always bringing it as far as my performances and the production quality. I mean, for SOMOS,
Go ahead.
I want, you
We're
know,
breaking some breaking news
I'm
over here?
like, okay, let me give you the tea.
Oh.
Let me let it out a little. So, you know, having dancers, like, you know, live instrumentation,
Oh, wow.
visuals, all of the things that bring that real entertainment value and help immerse the audience in the world of clarq or Scotty. That's what I'm excited to do. Just bigger budgets, like bigger when you have these opportunities, the more you should never let money or resources limit your creativity or expression. But as an artist, it's such a blessing to have those opportunities to bring your vision to fruition in a way that like matches how it looks in your head.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For
Rather
sure.
than like, oh, I'll settle to do this or do that. That's wonderful. We'll take it. We'll perform, you know, we love it. But that's what I'm excited to just keep pushing myself. Like I said, refining my instrument, growing in my craft, putting on a hell of a show, you know, because
yeah.
that's what I think fans and audience members have come to expect from clarq. So you're always going to get a show. I'm always doing my dancey dance. I'm always show up and show out and connect, you know. So that's what I'm looking forward to even more so moving forward, you know. How many people can I really like reach and connect with the art that comes from in here, you know?
And what are we hoping to bring this summer from your end?
I mean, shoot, truthfully, wear a few less hats. I wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
I'm her drummer, producer, doing a lot of engineering. You know, with my album, not out of the way, but like out.
Yeah.
I can kind of relax a little bit in that space.
Yeah.
But truthfully, I think that the hat that I do want to wear more of is like production, like just strictly producing. Like, you know, I got in my songwriting bag and got vulnerable and made people cry, made myself cry, my own music. You know what I mean? That's type of stuff. But yeah, really honing in, like broadening my production and like the musical palette that is. Like, there's a lot of other producers and artists that I want to tap in with. They don't necessarily fit like my current lane, and I want to like kind of grow in that space.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm really excited to see what you guys have heating up this summer.
Absolutely. Thank you
We're
for
looking
having
forward,
us.
of course, we're looking forward to seeing a lot of new shows and great artistry, and you know, seeing you guys turn from musicians and performers to just all around artists.
Yeah.
So
Thank
I'm
you.
excited to see what you guys have cooking this summer.
Thank you. We're excited too. Thank you so much for having us.
Of course. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for being here.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. My big head boss is getting on my nerves. I think I wanna clock out, hop in my car and swerve. Yeah, I might in that corner, whoa. They probably won't even notice, cause it's been dead slow. Oh, now you need overtime, and this ain't what I deserve. I had plans, I guess I'm kicking those to the curb. Thought this was a 9 to 5, but now it's 9 to 9. I ain't even take my lunch yet, best believe I'm taking extra time. Brody got me motivated, he just quit. I know I got too much talent to just keep clocking in. Yeah, I got plans to get my ends by a different means. A bunch of songs synced up with the movie scenes. My coworker overheard my thoughts and was like, yeah, right. How you gonna do that? You can't even get to work on time. I mean, yeah, I could, but I just can't.